Hi everyone, welcome to your full predictive outlook readings for Pisces season, which is just a day away, coming up very, very fast indeed. And we're already obviously experiencing Mercury retrograding through Pisces at this time. So it's a time to get that little bit reflective, but also a little bit dreamy. This is Pisces season. Things do get a little hazy. Some things come to an end. Some things have to be reconsidered. While it's important to be dreamy, it's also important to still ground into reality as all of this goes on. If you're here, please let me know how you're doing. Say hi in the chat. Please remember to like and share the video. Take the time to get settled. Take the time to breathe in, and as you breathe in, just feel the ground holding you. Get used to doing this during the month because Pisces energy can be a little bit out there, a little bit disorienting, a little bit destabilizing at times. Make sure you're fully taking up your body during this time. Hi, Victoria. It's wonderful to see you. I'm going to start off in a moment by seeing what this month looks like for us as a collective. And then I'll move on to the 12 signs from Aries through to Pisces. So let's get a sense of the collective energies for Pisces season for this year. Collective energies. What's it all about for us this year? This month? Okay. Yeah, I mentioned the importance of getting grounded that's coming up for the collective at this time. I want to say you might be feeling under a bit of pressure this month. Specifically, you might be struggling to find space to breathe, space to carve out for yourself. You might kind of feel like the world is quite imposing in that sense. So there needs to be just that bit of space to get on top of things this month, that space that we're going to need to make for ourselves. It's also important that we're not putting ourselves under too much pressure to have all the solutions, all the answers, or to be necessarily totally on the ball and okay if we don't feel we're able to be. There's a lot going on. There's a lot being churned up, a lot that we're working through. That Mercury retrograde gets us reflecting on top of everything else, but that's a lot. That's a lot. And therefore, I don't feel big strides forward over the course of the month. It is far more about reflection with the Four of Cups. So this is the energy that we're dealing with. We're going a little bit deeper at this time. Really feeling into that watery Four of Cups Pisces energy at this time. And that means a lot of meditation. It means a lot of grounding, but it also means allowing things to flow through us. So that means feelings, it means emotions, it means difficult past experiences that we may have stuff coming up in relation to. We're processing that so as we can reevaluate our relationship to both our past and our present at this time. Now, what it's not at this time is it's not about the eon. So this isn't a surge forward or a step forward. It's not even predominantly a focus on the external world this month. We still need to ground into it, but it's about our relationship to ourselves and what that shifts. This is absolutely crucial. And that means coming back to ourselves. It means coming back to where we find comfort, where we find peace, what it means to find comfort and peace in the middle of this, because I mentioned the world might feel quite imposing. So the next step is the Ten of Cups. This need for comfort, peace, essentially. Where do we feel safe? Where do we feel secure? What do we do to feel secure? Has to be a focus when everything seems to be rushing fast, being quite overwhelming externally. How do we regain that sense of integrity and self in the middle of that? The advice for that is the Nine of Cups. It's the Nine of Cups. So when we're looking at our relationship to ourselves, our past, it's also then about how that holds us back, how that limits our horizons. That is the stuff that has to be shifted, has to be changed in order that we're able to step forward, coming out of Pisces season, feeling, I want to say, more expansive as a result, feeling a lot freer. So it's a lot of inner work that the collective is focusing on over this month in order that we can increase our outlook in terms of our possibilities. And that final outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. So this, I feel, is also, it's being able to accept where we're at. And this is important as well. I mentioned that you don't have to feel under pressure to have all the answers, to be all the way there, to be totally healed. But what you do need to do is develop this closer relationship to yourself that grounds you in your body. And this is important. All that watery energy, you can be very tempted to try to escape to the etheric realms. But ultimately, where we wind up is back here. It's 3D reality. It's 3D reality, and it's being able to deal with that. And that means dealing with all parts of ourselves, including those parts that may have received bad wounds or that we may have stepped away from because we don't feel comfortable with them. That is the collective energy for this month. Hi to everyone just tuning in. Hi Alto, hi Lisa, hi Tyneen. I'm going to move on now to the 12 signs from Aries through to Pisces, starting with Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. So your focus for this month, Aries. Aries. Yeah, Aries, you're a sign I feel is putting yourself under pressure to be all the way there, all the way finished, able to do so much. But then when you actually go to put things into action, what are you finding? You're finding that actually your energy levels are depleted, your reserves are depleted. And this is about figuring out why that is, and maybe reevaluating, replotting in such a way that you can go about things a little bit differently. I also feel this means that you might have been overexerting yourself, overstretching yourself in various ways. This could be taking on too much. This could be simply working in ways that are outdated for you. This could be trying to live up to other people's expectations or unfair expectations that you place upon yourself. But as you come in with the Four of Pentacles, there's a tightening up of your resources. Also, I feel a bit of care for your body, but there's this strong reevaluation of what this looks like for you in material terms at this time. Now, what it's not about is the Queen of Pentacles. So your focus, I feel, is not so much on healing or on being healed as it is on getting it together in terms of how you're going to heal and kind of readjust yourself moving forward into your own season that comes up a month later, Aries, with the start of the astrological new year. Your next step is the Knight of Pentacles. So lots of earth energy coming in for you to stay grounded at this time, Aries. Now, I mentioned this tightening up of resources. I feel that is being echoed here as well. So you've got to look after what you have. And when I say resources, this does mean your energy reserves as well. It means the things that you take on. It's not just about money. It's more than that. It's about where you place your energy. Your advice is the 8 of Wands. Carry on as you've been going and you risk burnout. You risk burnout. You risk having to stop short. You risk tiredness, lethargy. You can already sort of feel it in the background. That's a warning sign. It's why you have to do this work this month, Aries, with your final outcome of the Chariot. This is what's going to free you up to move forward. It's going to mean that you feel lighter. But there's a lot of cutting away, cutting out of those things that you put your energy into that are superfluous. A lot of that is expectation. A lot of that is coping method as well, I want to say. Lots of coping methods. And it's about awareness, remember. So you can't just like flick a switch, be a changed person overnight. But looking at this stuff and starting the process of readjusting is what is going to benefit you the most this month. I hope that makes sense for you, Aries. The next sign is going to be Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Taurus. Okay. Pisces season can be about endings. Pisces season, I feel, is about endings for you, Taurus. And if it's not about endings, it's at least about boundaries. It's about, I've talked about where we place our energy for Aries. There's a bit of this for you, but I feel it's more about people. And not necessarily saying this person can't be in my life, but maybe, just maybe, I don't need to try and win this person over. I don't need to explain everything to this person. I don't need to justify myself. Essentially, so there is, I want to say, just a shaking off. I'm getting a very tense energy in my back. So if there are people who you tense up when you're around, who make you feel on edge, this is what you're going to be looking at and reevaluating and where that comes from this month, Taurus. Now, you're coming in with the Page of Wands, which is a lot of communication in general. But within this is also, I feel, about how you communicate, who you communicate with, why you communicate certain things. Where does that need to self-justify come from? Or if you're asking other people to justify themselves, where does that come from? But predominantly it's the first one. It's people that make you feel defensive. Now, it's not about the Page of Cups for you. So I want to say this is about dealing with harsh reality. It's not a time to just be like, oh, yeah, but they mean the best, or oh, yeah, I'll see the best in them, or don't worry, or whatever, or whatever. No, it needs to get more solid than that. You need to look, I feel, at these behaviors, because I feel like they cause you to doubt yourself as well. Now, with the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Swords coming in for you, somebody in your interactions, and this can be you, it can be the other person, you can mirror each other here, I feel it's quite scathing in that regard. This is where that self-justification comes from. Well, I have to say this, or I have to do this, or they're not going to be interested in me, and then what's going to happen, and then what's going to happen, and then what's going to happen. But calm it. Calm it. You don't have to justify yourself. You don't. This may also be about a neediness for you, a clinginess potentially, in that sense. All of which, incidentally, serves to stop you from being deeply in touch with yourself, with your inner process, which is where this has to go. And that's why you're putting these slight barriers up in that sense. It's why you're losing that need, is so you can get in touch with what you actually need and want on a deep level. As you emerge from this as the Queen of Cups, you see all of that feels like a coping mechanism for you. All of that is a way in which parts of the self, or sometimes most of the self, gets boxed away, hidden away. And this month, it's very, very much no, no, no. That is where you have to go. Anything fake or false beyond that, any self-justificatory stuff, that's what needs to fall away. I hope that makes sense for you, Taurus. The next sign is going to be Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Gemini. 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 Okay, Gemini. Okay. Tricky month for you. I feel like you're not being fully appreciated by certain people over the course of this month. In fact, I feel like some people feel like they're pushing you away or trying to keep you down or lay the law down to you or question you. Why do you need to behave like that? Why do you need to talk like that? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do that? And that's not comfortable for you. It's not comfortable for you, Gemini. And it's a reflection, yes, of those people as well, but it's also a reflection maybe of how you go about things, how you conduct yourself. And you need to approach this quite maturely in a sense. You see, I feel like you're going to be jettisoning a few beliefs, attitudes, behaviors. You may also start to break away from certain people. Other people you're going to change your attitude to and move closer to. That's the main energy coming in for you. And you need to be mature. Coming in with the King of Cups in Pisces season. You might take some of the things people are saying to heart. I want to say that. Even if you don't show it outwardly, there might be a bit of corrosiveness felt from those people. Ugh. So someone pushes you away or says something, it might cut quite deep. And you're trying to work out why that is. What does that mean? Now, it's not about getting down in the dumps about it. It's not about taking it to heart. It's not about the Five of Cups. It's not all hope is lost, but there's a bit of time out required for you from this. Got to reevaluate. You see, you're going really, really fast. And because you're going really, really fast, people aren't quite clicking with you. And I feel like you're not taking the time to breathe, pause, figure out where you're going. I have the Three of Wands for you. I also have the Emperor for you. And I feel the Emperor is the people you're coming up against in that regard, who are sort of laying down the law to you, causing you to feel that bit beached, a bit washed up. I don't feel you are, but I do feel really, really strongly that you need to come to an understanding. I want to say of why those other people affect you quite so much. Like, you're just doing your thing. They sort of show disinterest or put you down a little bit, and straight away you're just sort of like, oh, actually, that really hurts. That's not to say that they should be hurting you, because they shouldn't, but by the same token, you've really got to weigh this stuff up. Look at this. Look at these relationships, but look at yourself within them as well. It's not a laughing matter. Final outcome of the world. So you're going to be making changes here. This is for something in that sense, but a big part of that as well is about being able to understand why that affects you so much in order that you can feel that bit more comfortable in your own skin, be that little bit more resilient, that little bit less affected by it. It's that King of Cups energy for you again. I hope that makes sense for you, Gemini. The next sign is going to be Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. Cancer. Interesting. Interesting for you, Cancer. You know, for the collective, I mentioned it wasn't a big step forward. I feel for you it is, Cancer, in a sense. I feel like you're stepping forward, that you've learned a lot in the period running up to here, and you're feeling more confident as a result. And some people don't like your confidence. Some people are a bit intimidated by your confidence at this time, Cancer. So this is the energy that you're working with. It's a bit different. So you've been through big changes in that sense. You're coming in with the Eight of Pentacles. And what I feel the Eight of Pentacles here is your progress. It's the work you put in on yourself, personally, maybe professionally, maybe relationally. And it's just like, it's like the bullets are bouncing off of you in that sense. But some people don't like that. Some people want you to feel small. And it's not for you to focus on that, on them pushing you away in that sense. It's not about the Five of Pentacles for you. Now I have the Queen of Pentacles as your next step. I also have Judgment as your advice card. So single-mindedness about the Queen of Pentacles. That's what I'm getting here. It's a don't care. It's a don't care in that sense. With Judgment, it's seeing through their bullshit. What affects them? Why do you affect them in this way? What's that saying about them? It doesn't mean that you should denigrate them, but it means that you can recognize where they're coming from and just be like, well, fuck you, then I don't need you. If you don't like the confident me, then, you know, you can piss off because I'm on my way, basically. The final outcome of the Seven of Wands, you're not going to be cowed here. You're not going to be cowed. You can deal with that petty bullshit coming out of it. I hope that makes sense for you, Cancer. The next sign is going to be Leo. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Sharon. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. Leo. Leo. Slowing down, aren't you, Leo? Slowing down. You're not the only sign. It's a collective energy as well, but you are slowing down. Part of you just wants to hide in bed. Part of you kind of wants to hide in bed this month, Leo. It's very much that kind of, ugh, I can't be bothered energy. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe you're being really badly affected by the winter. Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you've been overdoing it. Maybe you've been lacking some support in some sense, or not knowing how to go about getting support. But you're coming in with the Five of Cups. So there are disappointments that you're weighing up. There are disappointments that you're weighing up, and it's not about blame, and it's not about finding the solution. It's not about justice. It's more an awareness and an acceptance of the impact that has on you. So it is an internal thing, as it is for most of the signs. Your next step is the Two of Pentacles, and your advice as the Sun. So one, yeah, you got to slow down. You got to slow down, take a rest, get some sunlight when you can, but take a rest. There isn't a rush here. There's also a remember who you are, Leo, because this is your card, the Sun. This is your card. You are here to burn brightly, to shine brightly. Not everybody gets on with that. Sometimes people try and burn you back a little bit in return. Sometimes people try and dampen your light. Sometimes things just don't work out. Because the Sun is so strong, the Sun is the ego, that means you can get bruised. So you need that rest. You need to take care of yourself this month, Leo. accept those disappointments, the things that haven't worked out, without looking for explanation necessarily for it, certainly without looking for retribution. Sometimes things don't work out. Part of the stuff that you have to work through ends up with you coming back to yourself. Bit of solitude, but feeling okay about yourself, more able to deal with when the punches roll in a little bit. I hope that makes sense for you, Leo. The next sign is going to be Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Hi, Tara. Virgo. Virgo. Interesting energy for you, Virgo. Interesting. I'll say this is optimistic. It's an optimistic month for you, Virgo. This one's working out for you. You're coming in here with the star. You're forward thinking. You're feeling positive. You're feeling quite enthused, actually, I want to say. I actually got you sort of dancing, jumping up and down. So you may be receiving some good news as well. Good news, offer of help, but something feels like it's coming off. Some of you might be getting job offers or offers of places on courses to study. Or you might be reconciling with someone. Maybe reconciling with your family if they've been difficult for you. It's nice. It's nice, and you don't need to doubt it or question it or fight against it either. It's not about the magician for you. So what you're receiving feels genuine, it feels trustworthy, and it feels like it's a springboard. It's going to carry you forward. It's going to allow you to look at things in a more positive way still. So we have the 8 of Wands for you, and we have the 5 of Wands as your advice. You've got the tools there. You see, some of you might be tempted to question it or be like, maybe the wheels are going to fall off, or maybe that person isn't being genuine. Maybe I can't fully trust them, but I feel they are. I feel they are, so you don't need to spark a fight in that sense when you're pulling in the same direction as them. Your final outcome of the 6 of Cups, it just feels joyful. It feels comfortable. It feels like you're really, really going to feel more in the flow, but more embodied coming out of this, Virgo. Less to worry about, less to question in that sense. I hope that makes sense for you. Hi, Donald. The next sign is going to be Libra. Libra, sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Libra. Libra. You got to step up a bit this month, Libra. You got to step up, and yet you don't feel quite ready to step up. And you're trying to make excuses for not doing things. I'm not ready for that. I don't want to do that. That feels wrong. I always do things this way, so I can't do that. So there are opportunities to do new things or approach things in new ways. You might be offered an opportunity. This could be a promotion. Probably of a temporary nature, temporary promotion to sort of stand up above where you normally are. Some of you might be invited to do some public speaking, to contribute to an art installation, But there's a sense of needing to be more out there on display. And you're like, no, I'm not ready. But you are. The opportunity coming in with the Knight of Wands comes in fast. You've got to be ready to say yes to it fast, actually. It's a black cat. It's fortuitous. If you go along with it, don't cross it, but go along with it. It's not about the Five of Pentacles. So you do have what it takes here. You are ready for this. So what's in the way? What's in the way is your self-image. What's in the way is the ways in which you view yourself. It's the things that you tell yourself about yourself. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. I'm this. Well, with judgment, you've got to see through your own bullshit here. Your own bullshit, which is the Six of Cups. So it's probably an earlier wound, possibly a childhood wound, most likely a childhood wound, but also a desire to stay in your comfort zone. Oh, it's safe here. I don't have to show myself, except you do, Libra. This is how you evolve. It's how you advance. So with the Seven of Cups, you've got to be prepared to see yourself a bit differently. Visualize yourself taking up that space, stepping up, getting the plaudits, getting the recognition, because you are good enough, Libra. And you've got to show it this month. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio's sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Scorpio. Scorpio. You know, you're allowed to help people out if you have something that you can help them with, Scorpio. Even if they've not been your favorite person in the past, even if you bear a little bit of a grudge, is there somebody who you're quietly waiting to fail or hoping to fail because it will make you feel better about yourself? Are you withholding advice, support, or knowledge for that reason, Scorpio? Because if you have something that can help somebody who's struggling, I feel like you need to be offering it this month. You're coming in with the Hierophant. It's the wisdom, that's the knowledge, but that can also be that kind of high and mighty approach where if they want something from you, they really got to work for it. Like, why? It's knowledge, it's wisdom. It's not a finite resource, Scorpio. Well, it's not about, it's the Five of Wands. So you don't have to be in a fight. You don't. Like, this can be a new beginning with this person. This can improve things between the two of you, and it can certainly help them to move forward. The Two of Wands and the Six of Cups. This can bring about connection with this person. It's not a bad thing, connection. Can also actually increase their respect for you on a deeper level. So you're not just this figure who holds the knowledge and keeps it to yourself. No, you're the helpful one. You're the warm one, the encouraging one, the one who carries them along with you because you care, Scorpio. And you do care deep down. Final outcome, King of Wands. This is going to be advantageous for both of you. It's going to allow you to feel a bit different about this person, maybe about the world in general as well, Scorpio. A little bit less cynical, a little bit more open. I hope that makes sense for you. The next sign is going to be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. Sag. 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 You have an opportunity to help people as well this month, Sagittarius. In fact, I feel like you're already in the business of helping people. I want to say that you might be exerting a little too much energy doing so. You might be doing too much for other people. It doesn't mean that you should be less helpful. But I feel like sometimes you want to be the hero. And because you want to be the hero, you kind of step in, take over, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And that's useful in the short term, not so much in the longer term. So this is more about asking them what help they need from you, but not taking over, essentially. The main picture that I'm getting. I want to say that some of you might also be calling a few too many of the shots in your relationships, not giving the other person or people the chance to express, breathe, speak. You're quite bombastic, quite fast. They might not feel able to, so you've got to take a step back from there as well. You're coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. So I want to say this is an opportunity to readjust, but it's also an opportunity to not mess up these connections a little bit by being overly dominant, overly passionate, overly forceful. And what it's not about is the Four of Swords. So I don't feel like that means that you have to go and hide away. But it also means that you don't have to keep doing this in order to self-justify. You don't, because you're good enough. Now I have the Nine of Pentacles for you. I also have the Lovers for you. The Lovers in particular for those of you where this is affecting your relationships. There just needs to be space for both of you to grow, to be, or for all of you to grow and to be. And for those of you where it's affecting other parts of your life again, you want other people to be built up in the same way that you're built up. And that's not going to happen if you're kind of taking over and domineering. This is about all of you being at your best. Now, I want to say as well, some of you, Sag, some of you may be ending relationships this month because actually you're finding they're not that healthy. And those are some of the reasons why. And it's not something to be in denial over. It's almost like these things have kind of run their course. So there are endings coming for you this month as well, with your final outcome of the World. It's not about clinging to what's wrong any more than it's about clinging to power or control over people or situations. It really has taken a step back, looking at what drives you there, making the appropriate adjustments, and in some cases, it's about saying goodbye. I hope that makes sense for you, Sag. The next sign is going to be Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. Capricorn. Cappies. Love situation, Capricorn. And yeah, I know the accepted wisdom is don't date in a Mercury retrograde, but if we all followed that, we'd never get anywhere, to be honest. It's about being tentative, but I feel like you're encountering somebody who clicks with you this month. Feels quite good, Capricorn. Feels quite good. I feel like this is somebody who vibes really well with you, encourages you, warms you. Someone who's not to everyone's taste as well. But then you're not to everyone's taste. So this is an interesting match up. You're coming in with the Seven of Pentacles. So for those of you who've been single for some time, maybe getting frustrated, caught up in knots, looking around at everyone else, wondering when it's your turn. I feel that's what's happening for you at this time. And you can trust it. It's not about the magician. You see, I feel like you might distrust it, or you might feel the need to put on a show, put on a mask of some kind, show yourself to be something more than you are. But I don't feel that's necessary here. This is all about being exactly who you are. King of Pentacles. That's you. And you're valued, you're respected, you're seen by this person. This person who comes in as the Knight of Wands. Likely fire sign energy, could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And it's a chance meeting, it's a fortuitous meeting. And I want to say they see something in you that they value. And this is not somebody who opens up easily either in many senses. But I feel like there's just this natural coming together for you. Feels like a nice connection. Feels promising. Feels like it can go quite deep. Six of Cups. Not the first sign to get the Six of Cups for this month either. So it's interesting. Six of Cups can be a Piscean energy because it's dreamy, it connects to the past, but it's also about feeling on a deep level. All of that is there. And I feel like you're feeling that sense of comfort with this person coming in. I hope that makes sense for you, Capricorn. The next sign is going to be Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season. Aquarius. Aquarius. You're getting excited this month, Aquarius, but you're also getting set off quite easily. Things are having a big impact on you. Your encounters, external events. I feel your heart racing. I feel your blood racing as well. And that can be a good thing if you channel it well. That can be a bad thing if it means that you start to explode into a sea of emotions. And if you do, then it's about how you're practically going to guide yourself through all of this, Aquarius. You're coming in with the Eight of Pentacles. This is your focus for this month. It's getting through it. It's head down. Practical stuff. Practical stuff when stuff feels like it's getting on top of you or affecting you. And it's not about the Ten of Swords. So I feel this racing within you that needs to kind of calm down. Needs to take you out of your head because you're like fearing the worst. Or you're reacting badly, potentially leaving other people in the dust. And there's just a need not to. There's a need not to. Now I have the Three of Cups for you. I also have the King of Pentacles showing up for you. You need a bit more joy in your interactions as well. You do. You need to see that people are trying their best, doing their best. This is a part of it. But it's also about, I want to say, being able to chill out as well. The other part. So you're doing practical stuff, but you're also chilling out here. You need to, I just feel like you're so reactive, so on edge, that you have to bring it down in order that you can start to control your energy as you come out of this month, Aquarius. Because you're going to need to be in control for the challenges going forward. And it's almost like you're just not there at this time. And that's okay. But it's about how you deal with it, because I feel like you could do some damage to yourself or your relationships or friendships if you're not careful. With your final outcome of the Emperor, following on from the King of Pentacles, it is very much about being in control of your body, of the things that you're doing, and just allowing yourself to connect in a way that means that you feel more comfortable, more calm, more authoritative. So it's not a month for you to be reacting. I hope that makes sense for you, Aquarius. The next sign is going to be Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising for Pisces season. Sun transiting your sign, Pisces. Mercury retrograde in your sign. How are you doing? Pisces. Okay. Trepidation. Trepidation, Pisces. You're like eyeing up the situation, eyeing up the people in front of you. Vigilant, on guard, sleeping with an eye open. It's this kind of energy for you. Not trusting of where you're at. Not trusting of where you're at, but almost like you've forgotten what you've come through. So you're on edge despite your accomplishments. Now, I want to say you may well be encountering people who don't necessarily see eye to eye with you or mean you the best this month, Pisces. You may well be. However, I don't feel like you need to be in this heightened state. You're coming in with temperance. You've got to bring it down a bit of a notch because you got this. You do. And well, it's not about the Two of Cups. So maybe these people are not right for you. Maybe they're not a good fit. Not a lot of love here. Don't want to be spoiling for a fight either. You don't want to be spoiling for a fight either. I have the World for you and I have the Knight of Pentacles for you. Some of these people are just going about their business. Some of these people are triggering something in you because you're kind of forgetting how far you've come and you're sort of reverting to an earlier state when you don't need to. With the World, it's very much about seeing how far you've come. Pulling back into your own space as well. You don't have to be vigilant in the sense of being out there, looking out there. Oh my goodness, what are they going to do? Oh my goodness, what are they going to do? No, you can come back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Your final outcome is the Eight of Swords. So this is the sense, I feel, of where you need to just come back, look at what you're projecting onto these people, look at your kind of inability to be calm at any time or retreat into a calmer space, feeling like the world might crumble away. This is the stuff that you're working on, reevaluating. Not everyone out there means you well, it's true, but the world doesn't have to be unrelentingly scary either. You're allowed to take a bit of solace, a bit of space within it. I hope that makes sense for you, Pisces. That is all 12 signs. That is your full predictive outlook for Pisces season. Thank you all so much for being here. Please remember to like and share the video. If you'd like to book a personal reading or get in touch with me for any reason, my details are just in the box below. I would love to connect with you and hear from you. I'm going to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, evening, night, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all again really, really soon for a new moon video. Thank you for being here.